Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to the Hairy Smash. I apologise, it's been a bit long between games. It's been like at least a week or something like that between these games. And I've still got quite a few games to go, so we're going to try and speed this up a little bit. But yes, it is going to be awesome. I'm in my new house. I got my internet. It is awesome. So yes, I'm going to be checking this game out. So let's introduce the players. Up the top right side of the map is Mr. Wally. Now, so far in this tournament, he's kind of done okay. He got up to Mr. Arthur in the winner's bracket and then got knocked down 2-0. But he did, in the lower bracket, face up against Lobo and beat him 2-0, I believe. And now he's facing off against his opponent, Mr. Spear, who had a pretty good run in the winner's bracket until he got up to Pig and got knocked down by Pig. But Spear did take out SWS in the lower bracket. SWS not having a very good game. He got knocked out by Ogres and then he got knocked out by Spear. And apparently SWS told me that his worst race to face off against is Terrans. And he ended up going up against 2 Terrans in a row. And that was it. He's out of the tournament. So very, very unfortunate for him. But very, very good for Spear. And we'll see how he goes here. See if he can make some sort of comeback. So he's looking pretty good. Both players with a nice early expansion and getting the minerals, getting all that sort of good stuff done. We've got a factory coming out, we've got an orbital coming out. Yeah, not too much interesting stuff. So let's go have a look at these guys' character sheets. Spear is from South Korea and not currently part of a team, unfortunately. He was part of the Micro Gamers team up to the end of 2014, but no longer part of that team. Mr. Wally, on the other hand, is from Australia and plays for the Frenetic Array team. Very, very, very awesome stuff. And it looks like he's going out for a little bit of early Ling aggression just to see what he can get up to. As a queen, I thought maybe there was a building or something like that, but he's going to get up there. He's going to see a single marine and a totally blocked off wall. And that is it. Oh, ooh, is he dizzy? Is he really thinking about doing something here? Is he? I think he is thinking about ducking under there. Oh, no, unfortunately. It's just too quick and the Marine kept too much pressure on him. If they could stay up the top, then he could have totally blocked that, but the Marine kept shunting them down. So, unfortunate. It's a nice little tricky combo. I think if he had Ling speed, maybe he could have attempted that. And Ling speed was very, very close, but is only just finishing now, so a little bit too late. And meanwhile, Spear is going to be getting it out. What is he building? Nothing. He's built 2 Hellions, but he's going to be swapping right on back to the barracks, getting out a ton of Marines, and just going nuts on that. I think this is a little level higher, so maybe a Marine on the top there could see it. I don't know how much the sight range, and it looks like these guys are just going to be going for a bit of a scout. It's not really going to be able to kill anything. And 2 Hellions, they got close. Then there is 1 worker at extremely low health, but in the end, I don't know. Maybe they did kill 1 worker and I just didn't notice it. But I don't think they killed all that much. Still, 2 Hellions, not too bad. And I mean, if 2 Hellions even kill 1 worker, then that's more than they usually get, because usually the queens just absolutely knock them down. I could have seen actually double queen here just to block them, but yeah, whatever. Here we go. We've got a nice little drop here. 3 Marines and a Widow Mine going to be coming up the top here. The Queen is going to have a bit of trouble dealing with this, I think. The Widow Mine is going to go straight down, and they're just going to run for it. Everything is just going to run for it. And I suppose that's going to deny the Widow Mine from getting a good hit off. It does get a hit on the roaches, but whoop-de-friggin-do. Who cares about hitting roaches with a Widow Mine? Nobody, really. Another 2 Hellions coming down. Do get to roast a couple of workers here. That guy's got 2 kills, so that's another 2 workers down. And that attack was pretty nice. Ooh, there we go. Actually manages to save that Widow Mine. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there. Knew the Spore Crawler was coming, and that Widow Mine had a very, very limited lifespan. But regardless, Spear not really doing too much. He's getting bits and pieces all over the place. And 5 workers, you know, is not nothing, so it's something. But harassment-wise, he's never really had a solid hit so far. Which I guess is okay, because Wally hasn't had a solid hit either. But income-wise, Wally is in the lead. Not by a lot, though. We do have this third base down already for Mr. Spear. We know he likes to get that early third base, so not surprising to say that at all. Got a couple of Widow Mines and a bunker with a Marauder in it. That's going to be very, very hard for the Roaches to press up. And so they're just going to be backing off. And another medevac coming up. It's got just bits and pieces of everything in it. Look at it go down. There we go. The Widow Mine going to be burrowing. Work is actually attacking the Widow Mine. Oh, but the Queen gets owned. The Hellion's going to be owning a couple of things here. Workers almost died, but had to do a pickup to get out of there, so unfortunate. Still saving that Widow Mine. And the Roaches, yeah, anticipating that it might drop, but it just goes all the way back to the main base. And the medevac, a little bit low on health, so it's not surprising. And Wally, realizing that he needs a boost, that he really, really wants to be in the lead on the macro, is going to be going for a ton of those guys. He's up to 7 workers lost, and it does start to add up over a period of time. So there we go. And there's a bunch of workers out, so he's now 57 over 50. Still not extremely awesome position, but pretty good, pretty good. And now Spear got a ton of units. He's got a decent amount of units. He's got another medevac coming over there with a couple of Widow Mines. Got a small group of Triple M moving out. Potentially going to go around the side, go for the third base. Wally does have some vision over here. He's been pushing out that creep nice and hard. These guys going to go straight down the middle by the looks of it. Bunch of Roaches and a bunch of Lings. We'll see how they do. I don't know how well they are going to do, because there's a few Marauders. Although the bunch of Lings managed to kill 2 Marauders, that only leaves 1 Marauder left, and that is going to be huge for going off against this Terran army, because those Marauders were really, really going to be doing a ton here. There we go, going to be killing those guys. The Spore Crawler a little bit too far away though, has to replant to get that Widow Mine, and does manage to save it once again. Here we go, nice surround, but a medevac lift up does save most of those units. They were in quite a lot of trouble because the Lings had swarmed around the backside, preventing a retreat, so a medevac was their only way out. And are we going to see another drop here? He's getting another Spore Crawler, so that's going to be covering all this area. Might be able to drop in this corner, maybe, kind of. I don't know. It's looking a little bit dicier to try and drop down on this period, but he is going to be going for it. There he goes, going straight for that corner, but the Spore Crawler is up now. The medevac goes down. Oh, he almost saved it, but not quite, not quite. There's a Viking coming down. That guy's not going to be able to do too much. And a bunch of these guys moving in. It's pretty good. I mean, he's got a lot of Widow Mines out early in the game. He's got a lot of Marines as well, but Wally has been getting a lot of Bailing, so he knows what he needs to get. A nice Widow Mine shot, almost getting a lot of units, but basically just getting 1 Bailing. And they're kind of just sort of testing each other out at the moment, so you can tell the Spear really, really wants to put some pressure on. He's really pushing out with the army, but Wally has been getting out a ton of Bailings. He's getting Bailing speed. Once he gets Bailing speed, he will be quite impressive on this creep. But it's just a matter of getting that upgrade. And for now, even without Bailing speed, he's still doing a pretty good job pushing these guys away. Used up a fair amount of Bailings on that Marauder, which is a bit of a mistake, but still, I think he's got the Bailing numbers out there. I think he should be able to hold off. The Marine numbers are going up by quite a lot, but even if only half these Bailings get decent hits off, I think the Marines are still going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble. There we go, Bailing speed is up, and that's going to be a hell of a lot more maneuverability for Mr. Wally. He's still going to deal with the Marauders, but the Mutas coming out should help quite a lot with decent Marauder numbers, and of course they will help extremely well with the medevacs, because that medevac lift up has been a pain for so long, and Wally's got to be sick of medevacs by now, so he's going to be taking them out ASAP. Do have a Thor coming out to combat the Mutas, so nice play there by Mr. Spear. We do have a nice flank here coming in. A whole bunch of Marines going down, but not enough going down on that backside. And Wally giving the GG, obviously. Those Bailings not doing enough. And I think his Bailings weren't getting the hits off. I think there were just too many Marauders in Spear's army. I think the Marauders were soaking up quite a lot of damage, and the Marines were sort of protected. The Bailings never got a beautiful hit on the Marines, because the Marines never really came out and never really pushed hard. It was mainly the Marauders getting out there, doing the damage, making themselves available to be Bailing hit. And you can't throw Bailings at Marauders. It's just not effective at all. So that's game number 1. Spear taking a lead in game number 1, looking to push onwards. And yes, it should be very, very awesome if he goes forward on this. So I'll catch you guys in game number 2. Stay tuned for that. Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Straight back into it. We are looking at series number 2. No, not series number 2. Game number 2 between Mr. Wally down the bottom right side of the map and Mr. Spear up the top left side of the map. And Mr. Spear is doing something dodgy down here. Very, very dodgy. And somehow Wally knew about it. This is not the normal scouting path for Wally to be scouting. He somehow knew about it. I don't think the Overlord spotted anything, so freaking hell, man. How the hell did Wally know about that? I got no idea, but he did find out about it, moved the worker over there, managed to scare the SCVs away, and that's it. Barracks is currently just sitting there, so yeah, anyway, I actually started casting this game and I fast forwarded to the 2-minute mark and then I'm like, yeah, there's a barracks there, but nobody's building it. I don't know what the hell happened because I skipped past it, so just restarting the game and checking it out. But there we go. Looks like it has been cancelled. Looks like a fast expansion is going out. This is actually, it's technically command center before barracks. There was a barracks, but it did get cancelled. So I think it's still technically command center before barracks, but it's kind of all over the place. And there we go. The barracks is going down at the moment. Wally is going for a straight up hatch into pool sort of play. And this SCV just being annoying as it possibly can. I wonder if you left the SCV on the, like on this extractor, whether it could eventually kill it. I think it probably could. I don't know if it would be able to kill it before Lings get out. Probably not, but who knows? I think he's actually spamming. He is spamming it to consistently not mine. What is he doing here? Is he asking to be eaten? I think he's asking to be eaten by standing in the middle of all these workers, man. But yeah, there we go. Finally mine something. Apparently if you mine and then cancel, then mine, then cancel, you sort of hold up on the mineral field. You like take 10 times too much time to mine something, and that of course blocks the drones from mining that. Which is, yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if you could take out like 10 SCVs or something like that and do that across a mineral field and just sort of block total mining or something stupid like that. It's an interesting idea, but I don't think it could really happen. It's just sort of a funny sort of business that Spear was trying there. But for now, his SCV is going to start getting home. So that's the end of the shenanigans for Mr. SCV. But what is he doing over here? We've got a factory, we've got a supply depot, we've got the barracks coming down, we've got the orbital command, we've got the speed, we've got, man, we need some speed. This game is actually not a lot happening, I guess, early game. So they've sort of drifted back into the normal sort of play. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit because nothing's really happening. We got the third base coming down for Spear. Ling's going around, might be able to get a worker. No, they decide not to, decide to go for the command center instead. The worker comes back. Oh, are they going to take it out? No, it doesn't look like it. They're just going to be going nuts on this command center. Really, really nuts. Got a Rotron coming out for Mr. Wally. Spear still going for that third base, 2 NG bays for his upgrades. Here we go, the Hellions coming out. It's going to be scaring the living crap out of these Lings. And yeah, very, very nice. Now the Hellions are going to be moving out across the map. We've got a third base coming down. It's been coming down for some time, actually. And tank production coming out for Mr. Spear. So maybe going for a bit more of a mech approach to this game. It's hard to tell because there's only one barracks and only one factory. So if he's going for mech, it's impossible to tell until he builds a second building. But a tank, yeah, I mean, marine tank is kind of a TvT sort of play, not really a ZVT. So I don't think he'll be going for marine tank so much. He could still sort of. I mean, let's think of it like that. I mean, it used to be a really, really awesome marine sort of TvZ sort of play, the marine tank. It used to be. And Widow Mines kind of changed that because Widow Mines are just so much more effective against Lings, Banelings and Mutas than tanks were. And yeah, I think that's basically it. I mean, that's sort of, the Widow Mine basically killed Marine Tank versus a Zerg player. But there are quite a few roaches here, so the tank is not going to be too bad here. And this may be just a single tank just sort of waging war against the roaches here. But Wally pushing in really, really hard. There's another tank at the top side. Is eventually going to kill all these guys. And the Baling's running in, going for the workers. Oh, so many workers going down. That's a total of 11 workers. He could have rolled straight over those bloody supply depots, chose not to. And, ow, man. Spear taking so much damage. The Lings managed to take the tank out. More Lings down here. What military units does Spear have? 2 Marines, and I think he just built them. So there's basically nothing. And meanwhile, we've got 40 Lings coming out for Mr. Wally. And he's just incredible. He may be able to survive up here if he gets a bit of luck or something like that. But yes, I don't like his chances. He needs to get that supply depot up ASAP. The tank is going to hold off for a while, but a couple of splash shots next to this supply depot is going to kill his own building, and then the Lings will just be all over the place. And Spear already is starting to get in a very, very bad situation. And that's it, Banelings. I don't think there's any chance right now. This wall is going to crumble and burn. The tank is going to die. The Marines are going to die. That's it, I think. It's got to be, yeah, I think that's got to be it. Another tank coming out. He just doesn't have enough to deal with this many Balings. He really, really doesn't. There we go. The wall coming down. The Marines going down. The tank going down. Everything going down. And the Banshee coming out, but it's just too much. All the workers are going to be dead before the Banshee even kills half of these Lings. And that's it, man. Spear has just got to give the GG at this point. He just absolutely has to. He's down 14 under 43. He's lost 31 workers. Another tank comes out. That's going to get owned pretty quickly. Spear still hanging on. For what purpose? I'm not sure. But he is not giving up. Absolutely does not want to give up. But I don't see how this is going to work out for him. I really, really don't. He's already crippled. And he is on the very, very edge of just being completely defeated. But I don't know. He's got a very, very solid wall here. That's going to take a while for them to burn through, but nothing that 10 Banelings couldn't get through very, very easily. And I do believe that Wally could easily build 10 Banelings if he wanted to. Not that he's really worried too much. He's going for a lot of macro at the moment, actually pushing out his macro, pumping himself up to 60 workers now. And he's not worried at all. He's just, you know what, maybe I can get through here, maybe I can't. Regardless, my base is going to be awesome. There we go. Overlords on top of the Spore Crawler makes targeting it very, very hard for Mr. Spear. And there we go. Starting to get the damage on these guys. They're starting to take a couple of workers down. The Queen might die, but the Spore Crawler is having a good job. And this is just basically harassment. Very nice harassment from Spear, but it's a bit too late to be doing harassment. He needs to be wiping shit out. He needs to be killing a major amount of stuff. And it's not really doing it, man. He killed another 3 or 4 workers, and he is still in such a bad position right now. Absolutely horrendously bad. So he's going to move out for an expansion, but there's already creep there. There's a whole bunch of Lings. The Banshee's going to try and do something, but I don't see it happening. I mean, we got a Spire coming out. We got gas everywhere. And in a very, very short amount of time, we're going to be seeing tons of mutas out there. At least a dozen just come out on the map. And what can Spear do against that many? I mean, his Banshees are going to go down in 2 seconds. And then he's just going to have a bunch of Marines. And Marines will get owned by the Banshees. By the Banelings, sorry. So, yeah. That's it. There's the Ling going to swat that medevac. I think it might have, but I'm not too sure. He's managed to get the 3rd command center up. So he was building 3 workers at a time. Could be an amazing comeback if he manages to make this work. But I think it's too amazing at this point. I think Wally, I can't see how Wally is really going to lose this game. I mean, he's in such an amazingly good position at this point. There he goes. Managed to draw away quite a few queens. And these guys looking for a couple of easy kills. Might get a few. Yeah. We'll see. They're killing a few gas mining workers. That is going to suck. Do we have any mutas out on the map? Doesn't look like it. He's going for the muta attack. but not building any mutas, which is surprising because he's got so much gas saved up. There we go, there's some mutas coming out right now. Pretty good stuff. Got a spore crawler, but it's a little bit too far away. There is a queen on the way. Going to start to do some damage. And so many mutas starting to come out now. It's a total of 12, which is a huge amount to be building at any one time. And that's, I think, is going to be it. The mutas and the lings coming out. Is he going to start to morph? He's already got some banelings here. So this is going to be it, I think. I don't see how Spear can sort of take this force and do anything with it. There we go. The banelings rolling straight in. The bunker just about to go down. Still so many lings out on the field. The mutas just, I don't know, playing defensively at the moment. And yeah, that's it. Spear has kept this going, and he sort of started to pull back, but he never really got even close to the point where he was on even terms with Wally. He was coming back slowly, and meanwhile Wally just, did I just call him Molly? Wally just macroed his way into a huge lead. He already had a huge lead, he just made it huger, and now he was going for mutas, and that's it. He's not even worried about the mutas. He's just going in, destroying everything, and seeing this many mutas, I'm not sure that Spear has got anything he can do about it. And there's the GG from Mr. Spear. I could have given it a little bit sooner, but I figured, you know, you might as well try. He got nothing to lose. If he gives the GG, moves on to the next game, the ace match, but might as well try if you could pull out a miracle. Yeah, and if you can't, you got another game anyway. So it is going to be an ace match between Mr. Spear and Mr. Wally to see who moves on. So let's check that out in just a second. Good evening, and yeah, I don't need to say that. We are getting back into the game, and we've got some funky stuff already happening here between Spear and Wally. Spear going for the double barracks proxy. And obviously Wally doesn't have any sort of clairvoyance going on this game because he is not sending anybody out to stop it. I still don't know how he did that. Was it the first game or the second game where he just, the barracks got built and then Wally just went straight out after it? I think it was just a bit of luck. Maybe he's been proxied from that position before, but this time, I just do not know. The Overlord is going to spot it soonish, but the barracks are both going to be up at that point, so it's going to be a little bit hard for him to stop it at that point. The Marines will be coming out, and look at this guy going for the bunker, my guess would be, and that is going to be nasty. So here we go. First Marine coming out, a couple more Marines coming out. There we go. Are we going to see a bunker coming down? It looks like he does. He does have the correct amount of resources for the bunker. It's just a case of putting it out. The workers all go nuts, and they're obviously expecting something crazy. They're not just letting him scout. They're saying, all right, we got to kill this bastard, man. He's got to be building a bunker somewhere. Although I'm guessing these SCVs are actually the bunker builders, and this guy is just a little scouting dude. So a whole bunch of workers going off there. There's the first bunker. And are the workers going to go for it? It's going to be tough. 3 Marines can do quite a lot of damage to these guys. But they are going to be going for it. Need to be going for the worker, but going for the bunker, yeah, does manage to kill it. So it doesn't get cancelled, but another bunker coming straight up. And another one coming up. And a bunch of Marines coming up. And I think Wally is, he's not in a good position. He's got lings. He's got a spine crawler. Spine crawler is going to finish up early, and maybe he can snuff the workers with a spine crawler. That would be awesome, but the bunker is going to be up, and I'm not sure if the spine crawler, no, it cannot. It's got no hope against this bunker, absolutely no hope at all. Ling's actually attacking the rocks, maybe hoping for a flanking position, but I don't see how that's going to help him too much. I mean, maybe if he takes this out, he can go for a third base over on the other side somewhere and sort of survive, but the Marines, oh, they just can't quite get that spine crawler. But the spine crawler can't get these bunkers either. Needs to be in a position like over here somewhere where he can actually hit it, but he's never going to get close enough to do that. The Marines will eat him up, and there we go. He's moving a little bit, moving so the spine crawler can actually take out the rocks. And is he going to make a push for the spine crawler? He's thinking about it, but in the end decides better to be safe and just pulls on back. He's trying to hit the Marines off the side and then just pulls straight back to the bunker. And I do believe one Marine went down there, but it's all a moot point, I think, because this expansion is going to go down. I don't know if Wally's going to get the rocks down quickly enough to get a third base, my guess would be maybe... I mean, he's got to get a third base, but every single second that it takes him to take those rocks is a second longer that he's not going to have his expansion. He's not going to have a working expansion to actually deal with. And that is going to suck. Here we go. The Broodling's going straight for the bunker, having a bit of a crack at it. There's so many bunkers here, man. It doesn't matter if the Lings go for that bunker because they can just move into the next one when that bunker starts to die and then salvage it. So it's going to be almost impossible for Wally to deal with these guys unless he just has a completely overwhelming force. Would you? Maybe he does already. Maybe these Lings are already good enough, but for now they're just going to be getting those rocks down. There we go. The rocks are down. He can safely get that third base, and the Lings can actually go for a counter here. It looks like they're going to be pushing over the other side, seeing what sort of damage they can do. Are we going to be seeing a wall? The Bailey Nest is coming up. That's not going to matter anytime soon. Not for this attack. Is the wall going to be going up? Yes, yes it is. A couple of Marines back there. Not really in range of these guys. They're going to have to go around the long way to get in range. Supply depot going to be going down, but there's a massive wall behind it. Look at this double command center here, going for that third base already. There we go, supply depot is going down. Marines getting around there, but he's not going to be able to breach the next level of the gap, and that's so unfortunate. But it looks like Spear is just doing a beautiful job this game. Now, we haven't seen a third base going down. I thought that Wally may have been thinking about that, because it really would help him to have an expansion at this point, any sort of expansion. But no, he's going to be warping into Banelings and just absolutely annihilating these forces. But has the damage already been done? I mean, he's 20 under 24. That's definitely not good for a Zerg player. He's getting 5 more workers at the moment, which is good. But yeah. Oh, missing this bit. There we go. Banelings absolutely destroying everything. There we go. There's the bunker going down. The base going up. But has Spear got enough of a lead already to think about just going over and owning stuff? I mean, he's 26 over 24. He's looking pretty good. He's got a ton of production facilities. Wally is looking pretty bedraggled by comparison. He's got a Baling Nest. He's getting a couple of Evo chambers now, but overall, yeah. I mean, the 10-minute mark, he should have a Roach Warren. He should have a third base. He should be thinking about a lair or building a lair already. So he's quite far behind in this game. And I think if Spear starts to do all the good things like getting a ton of Marines out there, starting to get Widow Mines, doing drops, all that sort of stuff. I mean, doing drops on Wally's base at the moment, Wally is not built to be handling that sort of pressure. It's not going to work out well if we start to see major amounts of drops. I mean, Spear doesn't have an expansion, so his economy is not... He's starting to get to the point where he needs to get that expansion really, really badly. So he's going to have to move out here, and maybe Wally can do something. Killing a whole bunch of Marines would be nice. Denying this expansion would be so good. If he denies that expansion, that would just be absolutely phenomenal. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do it here. The Marines getting trapped. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's a nice play. He's going to be able to take out this bunker, I think. More Marines coming down, but the Banelings are ready for them. Banelings going up here. The Marines doing a pretty nice split, but they do all die. He didn't get to deny the command center, though. Didn't get to deny the expansion. He killed a bunch of Marines, which is nice, because that's less Marines that could be doing the drop on him. But the expansion goes down, and now Spear's macro is really going to start taking off. Wally is going to be taken off as well, but just not as fast. Just not nearly as fast as Spear. And Spear already has a lot of the production facilities that he's going to need to be doing all sorts of good stuff. Just needs to build some tech labs, reactors, and then he's going to start pumping out so many units. It's not even funny. So here we go. Bunch of Hellions coming up. Seeing the third base. They're just going to be running straight past. Blue Flame. I believe these guys have Blue Flame already. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of Lings that just died. And they're going to go straight up here. The Spine Crawler is going to be having an attack. 2 Hellions actually dying pretty quickly. They were on low health. So very, very unfortunate. But Lings still continuing to die. There we go. 1 Hellion left. And, oh, there's another Hellion in there. Just sending Hellions across the map. And they're kind of doing a good job. Doing a pretty good job. We have a look at units lost. It's actually a lot closer than I would have thought, man. Losing those Hellions Yeah, I think a lot of it was those Marines being dead. I mean, 20 Marines having gone down. That's from the original bunker push and from the guys that the Banelings took out up here. So those guys definitely do add up quite a bit. So he's still dealing with these guys, and he's going to have to get something else. You can see roaches coming out. We've got a lair coming out as well, which is going to be some good counter versus Hellbats or Hellions or whatever the hell he starts to build. Oh man, I really need a drink. It's a good thing this is the ace match, because straight after this finishes I can go get a drink. But yeah, for now, a bit of a hoarse voice. But it looks like Spear pushing in with a lot. He's got a tank, he's got a whole bunch of Marines, he's got some more Marines, and it looks like he wants to start doing some damage here. It looks like he really, really does. And there we go. There is a nice Hellbat move into there, and I think that Wally is in a lot of trouble here. Hellbats, they're just going to be so freaking good. We got a whole bunch of Banelings, but of course Banelings suck pretty badly against Hellbats, so it's not going to be good at all. Roaches would be pretty good at this point. They wouldn't be like a straight up counter for both these guys, but they would not be bad. Look at this tank, man, just clipping the reinforcements as they come in. Beautiful. The Banelings rolling in and actually destroying quite a lot. The Marines down the bottom side, oh, they ended up getting killed. Unfortunate. And the Queen's up the top side. Does he still have vision? Doesn't look like he does, but he scans to get some more vision, and that Queen does get owned. So a whole bunch of links coming up, but I think that may be it. I think that Spear may have it right here. I don't think that Wally is going to be able to get enough. He's getting a ton of lings, but I'm not sure whether lings are the answer anymore. With the tanks, the Hellbats, and the Marines, I think that lings are just not the answer. Banelings are the answer, somewhat, and he needs to get them out, but they're being morphed in here, and Spear is just attacking them while they're still in the egg, which is absolutely horrendous. And some of them did manage to get built though, and they did attack the Marines. Didn't take out all of the Marines though, but took out a fair amount of them. Oh, did that tank just kill that Marine? I do believe that it did. Spinecrawler is going to be helping, but a tank is in range of the hatchery here. And Wally just gives the GG. So maybe could have kept fighting, but it was just getting too bad at that point and had to give the GG. So that's Wally out of the tournament now. And Spear is moving on. So he's had a fairly good run in the lower bracket so far. Taken out SWS and now Wally. And he will be facing off against King Kong in the next series. I don't know if it's the next series I'm going to be casting, but it's the next game for Mr. Spear. King Kong, of course, getting knocked out by Ayaguz in the quarter/semi. I think it's the semi-finals of the winners bracket when there are 4 people left. So, yeah, Ayaguz really, really going nuts there up in the winners bracket. Unfortunately, we didn't get Ayaguz versus King Kong, but we didn't get those replays. But we will definitely be seeing Ayaguz versus whoever else gets up there. I think, did we already cast? I can't remember. I'll just have a look and see if we already cast those games. Yes, we did. We did cast Arthur versus Pig in the other semi-finals. So if you've watched that game, you already knows that Arthur makes it to the finals of the winners bracket, and that's Arthur versus Ayaguz. So that's those two, and then lower bracket. It's all sorts of craziness. So yes, we'll be checking out another game coming up soon. So I'll catch you guys when we cast that game. Stay tuned.